What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, man? Checking in with y'all guys, coming at y'all guys, with a video for the day. For this video, man, we got that boy Camnewton on the roster. And we got that boy, Jalenhurts on the roster. So for those of y'all who don't know, Camnewton, he basically went viral, because I'm guessing, he made a top 10 quarterback list that's in the league, and he left, Jalenhurts off the list, and he had a whole lot to say about, why he left Jalenhurts off the list. So I'm finna let y'all hear what Cam Newton had to say about Jalenhurts. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give y'all my opinion on, the topic. So let's get right into
Everybody's gonna get mad at this. Cam hating on Jalen Hurts. It's hard for me to grade Jalen Hurts with the talent that he has around him. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback, but if we're talking about what they bring to the table holistically, it's hard to judge what Jalen Hurts can do when you're throwing to a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. When you have tight end skill set, you have a dominant defense, the best running back in the game. Download Madden and see how many stars is on the offensive side of Philly. Like, you got King Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely, those guys, that's cool. But when you're comparing, Lamar Jackson still shows you why he's an elite player. Josh Allen has to play elite in order for them to play. Lamar Jackson has to play at a high level for the Baltimore Ravens, even though that they have a dominant defense. Patrick Mahomes, he got a lot of talent. But boy, oh boy, you can't put no John Doe in Patrick Mahomes and think that they still gonna win the way they win it. I understand that. Jalen Hurts does not have to play elite for the Philadelphia Eagles to win. He has to play good, but he doesn't have to play elite. We're not asking you to win the game. We're just asking you not to lose it. When you ask that question, are we winning because of you, solely because of you, or is it the resources around you? So game changer, game manager, those are the things that you have to ask yourself. And those are the metrics that I'm going off of. It's like, bro, even when the tush push, you got 5 people pushing you, bro. You got a solid group around you, dog. And the man who Jalen Hurts is, bro, I respect him. I take my hat off to him. But just because he's a great guy, that don't mean I can't critique his game.
So, man, y'all just heard what, Cam Newton had to say about, Jalen Hurts, why he graded Jalen Hurts, the way he graded Jalen Hurts. And, man, I got a lot to say about, this situation. The first thing I'm gonna say, man, is, I'm disappointed in Cam. I'm disappointed in Cam because, I think, he grading, Jalen Hurts totally wrong. I'm gonna say this, for Cam Newton to play the quarterback position and play the quarterback position at a high level, then he should know firsthand that, the quarterback position is more than just throwing the ball. The quarterback position is more than just throwing the ball. In my days of playing football, the best quarterbacks that I ever played with were not the guys that can throw the ball, but the guys that could lead and the guys that could run offenses. Those was the best quarterbacks that I ever played with, in my time of playing football. Even in high school, the guys who got on the field at quarterback wasn't the guys that can throw the deepest pass or had the strongest arm. Matter of fact, my high school team, we had a guy that can throw the ball like 70 yards, but he never got on the field because, he couldn't run the offense. He couldn't make good decisions. He didn't have, the brain capacity, to run the offenses. Because, man, let's take a look at what quarterback had to do. First, as a quarterback, you got to get the call from the coach, right? Then once you get the call from the coach, you got to tell everybody what the call is, right? Then once everybody know the call, everybody got to get lined up. And as the quarterback, Then you got to make sure everybody lined up. You feel me? Everybody lined up right. You got to make sure everybody know what they doing. So for you to make sure everybody know what they doing, you got to do what? You got to know what everybody doing. You see what I'm saying? After you got that taken care of, now you got to snap the ball, you feel me, and get the ball where it need to be, whether it's handing the ball off, whether it's throwing the ball, to the right receiver. And then you got to make the right choice when you throwing the ball. You feel me? You got to snap the ball, analyze the defense, then make the right choice on, where you need to put the ball. You feel me? So, man, you got to go through all of that before you actually throw the ball. You feel me? And then, let's look at it like this, Quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks, they are great at running offenses and making good decisions, right? So as a quarterback, you really just got to, you ain't got to be no great passer. You really just got to be able to get the ball in your playmaker's hands, right? Why do I need to throw a 60-yard pass when I can just throw a 5-yard hitch out here to my receiver, and I know he got the capability to take that 5-yard hitch 80 yards, 90 yards, 100 yards. Why do I need to be throwing 67-yard passes? You see what I'm saying? And so a great quarterback is not always about throwing the ball and stats. And I think that's how, Cam Newton, is rating these quarterbacks. I heard Cam Newton mention, what's the guy named? Lamar Jackson. I don't take nothing away from Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson can have all the stats that he want to have. If he can't get it done when the playoff time come, when crunch time come, if he can't get it done, then, hey, you can't put him in the same sentence as Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's in a different bracket than every quarterback that haven't won a Super Bowl. And it don't matter about stats. Jalen Hurts was a elite quarterback before he came to the Philadelphia Eagles. He was elite in Alabama. He was elite in Oklahoma. And now he's elite in Philadelphia. Why? Because Jalen Hurts is elite at running offenses and leading teams. Jalen Hurts is elite at running offenses and leading teams, being a leader. The guy's a leader. That's the number one quality you want in your quarterback. He's a good leader. And that's what Jalen Hurts is. So that's what I got to say about that situation. I definitely don't agree with what Cam Newton had to say. And I think, Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in this league. And one thing we know for sure, Jalen Hurts is definitely going to win more Super Bowls than Cam Newton. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, man. Y'all tap in, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, share this video, and I'll see y'all guys next video. Yo.